Hello all my gorgeous viewers, thank you for joining me for another video. I'm doing a comparison video for you guys on two very popular bags. I have the Pochette Metis in reverse and I have the Speedy Soft 30 Dark. I find them very comparable because people often go for medium-sized bags, I would say, considering we have the BBs and the nanos, especially when you're going for Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton has made ridiculously small bags in the past 10 years. They just keep getting smaller and smaller, and then like you can barely hold anything in them. Some of them you can hold like maybe a lippy and a card if you're lucky, but personally I find larger bags just better. I feel like I don't like using bags smaller than this. This is a perfect small bag for me. The 30 is a perfect medium-sized bag, and Speedy 35 is verging on a larger size bag that can kind of transition into a luggage piece. I am contemplating getting a Speedy 35. That is actually the only size of Speedy I've never owned. But anyway, we will be comparing these two bags today, and let's get to it. So first off, let's look at the aesthetics. I really love these pieces because they're different. You don't see them everywhere. They have black leather instead of vachetta. I am not a patina phobic. I love patina. If you know what you're doing and you know how to take care of your vachetta, patina becomes extremely weatherproof and very durable and carefree once it starts to oxidize. But the problem is people are really paranoid about the oxidation process, and they get really weird and OCD and paranoid. And the whole point and purpose of the vachetta is to see it and get more beautiful over time with that honey, that beautiful honey color. That's the ideal shade of the vachetta. I feel like a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with the Speedy. It is so iconic. It also means it's very oversaturated. It's highly replicated. The Louis Vuitton Speedy is so bloody iconic. It will never go out of fashion. It will always be in style, and that's also why people kind of justify the price tag, because you're buying a timeless piece. It's not fast fashion. It's not trendy. It's classic. And classic means you're getting your money's worth, because you're not going to worry that you can't wear it in a year or two. You know, it's going to last forever. You can pass it down for generations if you take care of it. And the Pochette Metis has made a name for itself, and even though it has had its fair share of problems, this particular model, not necessarily the reverse. Reverse came out after the regular version, but I'm talking about the very first version of the Pochette Metis in the regular monogram, or monogram and vachetta. The bloody thing was like designed 3 times, and I'm not even joking. It's been changed. The interior has been changed. The zipper has been changed. So the zipper used to have this like vachetta pull, and it started curling, and everyone got so pissed off, and some people cut it off, and then they released one without because it was just too annoying. And then the inside has changed like twice. So there are like 3 versions. I will say the Speedy is an easier bag to use. Why? Because it's harder to get into flat bags, because for one thing you have to click this open, and then you're kind of dealing with this hanging down. It's a little bit cumbersome. It's not like so difficult, right? But it's a little bit cumbersome when you're in public and you're on the go. And it's easier when you have the strap on, right? Because here's a beautiful strap. It's so funny because I have hated the reverse for so long. Hated it when it came out. I thought that is so ugly with the inverted colors. But now I love it. Things grow on you, I think, especially with Louis Vuitton. A lot of the new items will end up growing on me. I really didn't like the reverse print when it came out, but I think it's such a beautiful caramel color. It is like a true caramel color. It's the same color as the LV logos, but when it's blown up like that, and you know you have the reverse colors, then you really see the true depth of that caramel, and it's really warm and rich. It's not the easiest thing to use when you're in public, because you have to open the flap and then you have to like take the flap out of the way and kind of look in your bag. Because it's an accordion style bag, it does have the ability to fit more than what it looks. But honestly, this would be more comparable obviously to a Speedy 25, but I don't have that. And the Speedy 25 just isn't as popular of a size as the Speedy 30. As far as the capacity and how much it holds, obviously the 30 is going to hold more. Even the Speedy 25, which is the same length, but it's a totally different shape. This shape, this house shape, is like Mary Poppins. It holds a lot. Even the 25 holds a lot. The 30 actually only holds a little more than the 25. I found them to be very comparable when I had both. Pochette Metis, I feel, is it's more comfortable to wear. So even though it's like harder, it's a little bit more cumbersome to get in and out of because of the flap, and then having to make sure that you're guiding the lock back in. It's not as easy to access the bag like the Speedy. The Speedy is so easy. Zip open and reach in, and that's it. And when you're wearing the bag, it's just so easy because it's like having a tote basically. I feel like the Speedy is kind of like a tote and a satchel in one, just the way it functions. It's so easy to get into. It's so easy to use. I love the ease of use of the Speedy. I love the top handles. I like being able to just lift my bag and move it around. Having short top handles is so convenient. And this is why I don't like the Neverfull as much, because you have these longer handles and they're not as comfortable to hold like that, or to just like transport around, like to even reposition, move around. Like this is so much easier, and I love that I can carry it in the crook of my arm. Neverfulls are very uncomfortable to carry in the crook of the arm because the straps are so thin and the bag is heavy. Not heavy on its own, but because the Neverfull is a large bag, you're going to put shit in it, and when you have shit in it, it's a heavy bag. It's not meant to be carried in the crook of the arm. It's just going to kill your arm. But when it comes to wearability, the Pochette Metis is very comfortable just because of the shape. It's slim. They're very different shapes. House shape and a slim shape. Yes, the Speedy is still a comfortable bag. It's not an uncomfortable bag by any means. But because it's slouchier, it's larger, it doesn't feel as seamless as the Pochette Metis. The Pochette Metis feels very like minimal. Right? It's such a small little size. It's so compact. It just like sits against your body, and it's like it doesn't take up much space at all. And it's so small and slim. And of course you have a top handle too, which is the equivalent of having these top handles. So it's nice to tote around. When you have fancier events, you can put a twilly on it and carry it top handle, and it really elevates this bag. If I was going to a wedding, a gala, maybe not a gala, wedding, cocktail party, upscale dinner, lounge, like I could carry this. It still wouldn't. I feel like the black really makes this versatile, right? So I really highly recommend the dark version, because the black chicer version of the Vuitton, when you take off the strap of the Pochette Metis, and when you add a twilly on it, it really elevates the bag and it looks a lot more upscale. I've carried this to the Henley Royal Regatta, the rowing event, when I was living in London, and it looked amazing with my outfit. I had a black and white dress and I put a black and white twilly, and it looked beautiful over this bag. So this bag, I feel like, is a little more versatile than the Speedy. Even though the Speedy, the Speedy Dark is versatile, I would say the Vuitton Speedy is purely a casual bag. Like I would never carry that to a wedding. But this, you could get away with it, but because of its size and its shape, its overall style, it's still more of a casual bag. This could suit business casual or even like some cocktail events. But if you were at a really upscale wedding or a gala or whatever, I wouldn't carry this. just because of its size, it just looks more like it's a casual sized bag. Because this is smaller, it can pass as a bit of an upscale bag, especially when you dress it up in a twilly. It all depends on how you carry it. But it becomes a more casual bag for the daytime when you add the strap. And then it's like a messenger bag, right? That's what it looks like with the flap and everything. This has the classic golden hardware, but I would say because of the black leather instead of the Vachetta, it can be a little more upscale. It really makes a difference. Vachetta really looks quite casual. It's like a daytime travel casual, like it just has that look because of the leather color. But when they use this black leather, it really elevates the look of the bag. It really makes the bag just a little more higher end, little classier looking. It just gives that appeal to the monogram. It really does. The golden hardware is so beautiful against the reverse print, I think. And even though, you know, there's a lot going on, at first when I saw this bag, I thought, oh my God, it's so ugly, but I really grew to love it. I get compliments on this bag all the time. And it's really become like a staple, a classic, and now everyone recognizes this bag. But this bag was actually modeled after an older style Louis Vuitton. It's basically like a revamp. The Louis Vuitton Monco. The Monco came out in 1986 and is very similar to this. It looks like a messenger. It had a larger lock and it was a little more square looking, and it came in two sizes, the 26 centimeter and the 28 centimeter. Then it was discontinued, and then they re-released it in 2013, but it was the BB version. And then in 2019, they came out with like a French school, like, I don't know if you guys know, but a French school bag for kids used to look like kind of like a messenger style, but like colorful. So they tried to make it look like that. And it was released in 2019. And that was the last time they remade the Monco. But they didn't release it in a monogram. They were leather. So when this came out, this was very reminiscent of the Monco just because of the style of it, as you can see. And it just has that classic Louis Vuitton look because it looks like that bag. So it's kind of nice brought back. Even though the Monco still exists, this one looks more similar to the overall appearance of it because of the monogram and the way the lock is. So the Pochette Metis came out in 2012, but it didn't really like start blowing up on social media till like 2 years later in 2014. Made a whole bunch of different kinds, like different leathers, different colors, and it's just a really popular bag. I personally do not recommend the leather versions of the Pochette Metis because they get very distorted. It's the problem with leather, right? It distorts. So even though like I know a lot of people like don't like to spend money on canvas, canvas is durable and often more durable than leather. Leather you do have to take care of because it's hide, it's skin, and it does change, it does distort, especially with moisture and different temperature, humidity levels. It can really change over time, whereas canvas pretty much stays the same as long as you don't expose it for long periods to extreme temperatures. Like don't keep it in your garage when it's like winter and then summer. Just as long as you keep it inside in even temperatures, it should last for many, many years. And there's Speedy. Yes, it can go with many outfits. This particular Speedy looks more elevated because of its very chic palladium silver colored hardware. You know, Louis Vuitton has not had silver hardware on Speedies before, but I did remember in the early 2000s when they came out with the Miroir collection, the mirrored silver and gold, that had silver hardware, but it's still not quite the same thing. Like this is the first bandoulière Speedy with silver hardware. I can't think of any time they came out with a bandoulière Speedy with silver hardware. I think that's what really drew me to this bag as well. Like I do love the traditional gold hardware of Louis Vuitton, but for this particular color line, I found it so chic. It really goes well. I don't think this bag would look right if it was gold. It just wouldn't look the same. I know this one has gold, but it just works with the warmer colors. Because of the black, I feel the silver complements the overall look. I think it's just very beautiful. If you want something a little more versatile, easier to just carry around, you just feel a little more compact with it because it is a compact bag, slim bag because of its sheer size, but it has that ability to expand because of the accordion style. You also have to be aware that this bag has built-in organization. I don't recommend organizers for organized bags like this because to limit your usage of this bag even more. I just try and keep it clean. Also, it's black, so I don't really worry about it getting marked up or anything. It's literally black. Sorry, it's just tissue and shit in there. It's literally black microfiber and it's very durable, so I've never had any issues with it. And I find the compartments quite easy to use, but you just have to be a little more strategic with how you place your items in there. You might have to play Tetris a bit to get your things in there, and if you don't mind that, that's fine. If you have less to carry, this is an ideal bag. Also, mind you, this has an exterior pocket. The Speedy does not. Exterior pocket is great for your phone. It holds most smartphones. I have the 14 Plus, so any of the larger smartphones this will carry, which is great. It gives easy access to your phone, and it holds more. It doesn't just fit your phone. You can put your phone in a little purse, a little wallet in there. A little more cumbersome to get into the main compartment. You still have this exterior pocket, so the things you do need right away you can fit in there. You can fit AirPods, phone, little wallet, purse. The thing about this version is it has such a beautiful soft leather interior. Speedies traditionally do not have leather inside. They have an untreated canvas inside. So having this is just a little more luxurious. And then the soft Speedies have a larger zippered compartment. It can hold my smartphone on the inside. It's just an easier bag to get into because you have a top zipper and that's it. Often I don't even have to zip my bag up and I still feel safe because the bag is smushy. It kind of contorts under the arm. I don't feel like I'm not secure. Just the way it's shaped, it's just not the easiest bag to get into for other people. Just a top zipper. When I do want it more secure, I just zip it towards me, and then it's impossible like for people to just get in without me obviously noticing. It's just such a secure bag, and it has a lock, so when you're traveling and you fall asleep or something, it's still not easy for people to get into. You can actually lock it at the zippers. There's two ways to lock the zipper. You can either use both links, or what is supposed to happen, what you usually do, which is easier, is just to overlap the top zipper pull and then the loop comes through and then you can put the lock through. So even though the regular Speedy is not like a fancy bag, this one can pass as a fancy bag for sure. Also comes with that chain. I don't know where I put it, but it came with the palladium chain that makes the bag look quite edgy, but it's a bit too much for me. But I love the tassel and I love the little mock leather luggage tag. Has no purpose. It's literally a bag charm that looks like a leather tag. So just so you guys know, this is not a functioning luggage tag. It just looks like one. But it has a really cute LV logo on there. But the thing is, I could take this to fancier events. It would not feel out of place just because of the palladium hardware, the black leather. It just looks like a very chic Speedy, elevated Speedy. So it's still a versatile bag, but also just not something I would take to super fancy events where probably this one would just be a little more add a twilly, and it's really cute little cocktail bag. This one not so much. But this is a workhorse. This is my go-to everyday favorite bag to use. I use this bag all the time, and I do use it more than my Pochette Metis. Before I had this, I was using my Pochette Metis every day, but it's because I didn't have a Speedy. I definitely prefer my Speedy just because I love having all that space. Like I said, just because it's split up, you just have less capacity and less options of what to carry. You have to carry small things. You can't carry a big thing in this bag. Whereas the Speedy 30, you can definitely fit in large things. You can even fit in like those smaller MacBooks. I used to have an 11-inch and it would fit perfectly fine inside of my Speedy. I used to just lay it flat and kind of act as a base shaper too when I went to class. You could fit double, maybe even triple. I used to have a Zamier Event 30, it's the same size, and I used to carry so much. You can keep stuffing it. You can stuff it to capacity, and you can just keep adding a little. Such a great bag to have, and that's why I always called it the Mary Poppins bag. With structure, you're limited. You're limited to the stitching and the structure of the bag. Even though this bag is accordion, it's smushy, it still has limitations. Whereas this is so soft and so smushy, there's absolutely no structure at all. Like, it's such a smushy bag, especially with this canvas. I am in love with the new soft canvas. I love it so much. The original Speedies are stiff. Like, if you push it down, it's gonna like be very stiff staying down, whereas this is like kind of flexible. It bounces back. It feels like leather down. There were never any creases on this bag, just the type of canvas it is. Normally bandoulière bags have one strip going down each side and it looks more luggagey, but this is the first time where you're getting this classic look, because normally these type of chaps here are only available on the non-bandoulière classic top handle Speedy. The original Speedy usually only had these. So now you're getting this look, but with the added D-ring and bandoulière option. The strap, because it's rolled leather, it's exactly the same as the handles. Some people hate the strap. I fucking love it. It's probably one of my favorite straps Louis Vuitton has ever made. I find it extremely comfortable, and the strap drop length for me is perfect. I am not a crossbody girl. Every time I wear my bags crossbodies when I'm traveling and I have shit to carry, things to pull, luggage, out of necessity. But if I have a choice, I do not like wearing crossbody bags. I'm not a casual kind of girl. Crossbody is a very casual look. It looks like a postman, like messenger, you know, like that kind of thing. Even with my Pochette Metis, I carry just over my shoulder, even though it's lower. I'll only carry it again crossbody if I need to, if I'm carrying a lot of other things. And I love carrying my bags like a tote. The Speedy is kind of like a tote. It handles like a tote. The way it opens, you have this big space, but you have the added security of the zipper and this cute house shape and the handles, like a top handle carry. That's what I love about the Speedy. It's a beautiful utility bag. Stylish and chic utility bag, but it's still a fucking workhorse. Louis Vuitton is originally a travel company. Originally they made trunks and locks. But I'm going to show you how the bags come when you first order them. And this is the way they were supposed to be. Let me see if I can remember how they do this. When you order a Speedy, when you first buy one, they come flat, folded like this, and they were made lightweight and foldable because they were supposed to be made for travel, and you were supposed to be able to just pack them away neatly, and when you needed to use them, they can easily be folded away, unpacked, and then bent back into shape. And that's why the lightweight, functional, and then voila, you have a handbag. So perfect. And you've got the legacy and the history attached to this bag. I mean, for those of you who don't know, the 25 exists because of Audrey Hepburn. She had a Speedy 30, she used it all the time, but she said it's a little bit big. I would love one for every day, a bit smaller. So they made one and they ended up keeping it. So that's why the Speedy 25 exists, because of Audrey Hepburn. So we can thank her for that size. So if you want the larger capacity and you like carrying your bags more like a tote and having just everything there laid out for you, get a Speedy. Also, like I told you, it's travel friendly, made to be folded, smushed, tucked away, and lightweight. It's that bag that you can use every single day. Perfect companion. This is your bag for every day, for work, whatever, but still nice enough where you can take it to most functions. This bag I'm talking about, this particular one. There's something a little more chic about the Pochette Metis, just because of its size, its shape. So cute, the top handle. If you like the organization, some people really don't like the split. If you don't carry that much either, this is a perfect bag. But like I said, considering its small size, it does hold quite a fair amount. It's not like you can't put anything in here. You can put quite a fair amount in here. I'm just used to really big bags. But again, just keep in mind that it's split into 3, and you do have to be a little more strategic the way you put in your things. And if you don't mind the flap. But again, if you want quick access to your things, you can always put it in the external zippered compartment. It's an easy bag to use, nevertheless. So this is just a bit streamlined. It's thin, it's small, it's just easy to kind of like run around the city. You have the added option of doing crossbody. When I'm like doing shopping and stuff and I have a lot of bags, I just throw it over my shoulder and just like do all my shit. Don't have to worry about it. This is a lot more comfortable to tote around as a crossbody. A little more elegant, Pochette Metis. If you want a little more casual, more usability, more of a utility bag, more functional, I would say Speedy, especially for travel. I did travel with this, but you can't put a water bottle in here. You can put a little water bottle in there, Dasani or something. It will take a majority of the center compartment. The central compartment is the largest compartment, but again, like, you're a little limited. Water bottle is in there. I don't have much room for anything else, like small things, but you can't put like a lot in here. This, it just seems like the capacity never ends. You can just stuff so many things in here. Larger water bottle in here. I can fit this one. This is a huge capacity water bottle. Look, gone. And there's still so much room. You see what I mean? Whereas this, you would never, no, never, you can't fit this in. I'm just gonna show you just how ridiculous. No. Especially if you have like cardigan or a blazer. Sometimes I've taken off my blazer and stuffed it in this bag, or my cardigan and stuffed it in this bag. You just want the extra room to carry more shit. Also, when I'm shopping, I manage to carry most of what I'm buying, as long as you're not doing grocery or food shopping, but just regular shopping. A lot of the stuff I've been able to just fit in my Speedy without carrying extra bags. It's bigger than it looks. The Speedy doesn't look like a big bag. Like, for a medium-sized bag, it's a compact looking bag, but it fits so much. When I take this out, I can't carry my whole makeup bag. I have to like carry a smaller bag, transfer some of my like basic makeup products. I could put my whole makeup bag in there, but then again, it's going to take up a majority of the central compartment, which is then going to make the other compartments beside it a little more snug, tighter. So the more stuff you put in the center compartment, the less space you're going to have on each of the other sides. Great bag if you don't carry that much, but it's not ridiculously small. Like 25 centimeters is still a good size bag. I could never be okay carrying a Nano or a BB. They're just way too small for me, and I personally think they look ridiculous. It looks like you're carrying a dolly bag or a child-sized bag. I think they just look so funny. But this is small, but not too small where it looks stupid, and you can actually carry a decent amount of things in here, like your basic necessities for the day. This could be an overnight bag, literally. Like, you could carry a small outfit in here. I have traveled with the Speedy, and it works great as a travel bag. Like food and drink, an extra cardigan, my iPad. You can carry extras in here. So I feel like this bag is a lot more useful when it just comes to everyday, when it comes to things you need. There's never a time where I'm like, I don't have room for it, because my Speedy will have the room. This, it's like, yeah, just your necessities. So if you're more of a minimalist person, you don't carry that much shit, you want something a little more elegant, a little more chic, something that's easier to run around town with, this bag. If you want the utility bag, you want the extra space, you want to carry more stuff with you, this bag. I hope I have helped you make a decision if you're deciding between these two bags. And if you have any questions at all, I will be happy to answer them. Just leave your comment below. And I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Mwah! Bye-bye.